President Joe Biden is flying in illegal migrants to the United States, and he doesn't want to tell you where they're landing. This should concern you because they could be coming to your state. Now, Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, is very pissed off about this, and let's go to him right now and see what he has to say about it.
What he's doing is he is, quote, paroling people in foreign countries and then flying them in. Now, the reason why Miami was the top is because it's the closest airport to where he's bringing people from. That was not necessarily the final destination. They will not tell us where people have gone after that. I don't even think they know where people have gone after that. So yes, it's an unauthorized program. It's an abuse of the parole provisions of law. We are in the state with the Attorney General suing Biden over this because it's unconstitutional.
I can't believe that they're flying in, it sounds like possibly felons, and they're paroling them to bring them into our country. And the worst part is they're not telling you where these people are landing. And that's what really bothers me, because these people could be going anywhere. They could be in your state. You have no idea. The Biden administration does not want to tell you where these people are landing. And that's scary.
It's a violation of the law, and it's wrong. And he flew in. I mean, there's reports. He flies in some guy from Haiti, dumps him in New York. The guy ends up in Massachusetts, and now he's charged with sexually abusing a 14-year-old. Now, is that really something that's good for this country, to be flying in like that? Of course not. So that is that. And this actually happened, I think, probably mostly a year ago. We have not noticed an increase in terms of our community. So my sense is most of those people probably gravitated to sanctuary states, because you go to California, you get a driver's license, you get health care. In Florida, you're not getting a driver's license if you're here illegally. You're not doing that. So it's a different paradigm.
Yeah, and let me just pause it there as he gets a little applause for that, and he should. I love the fact that Florida says, hey, if you're illegal, we're not going to give you these things. We're not going to give you the driver's license, and we're going to combat that. That's awesome with these common sense laws. I know Uncle Ronnie D's been in the news a lot lately because he's been passing some really good common sense laws. But let's check this, because I want a little bit more background on what exactly is happening here. So here is the voanews.com. And what they say here is, I started investing in apartment units between 5 to 20 units because I never wanted to work a job I hated again. If you want to learn how to do it too, click the link below this video. Now, let's get back to it. The White House announced the Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans parole program on January 5th, 2023. Individuals in those 4 countries are allowed to apply for legal entry to the United States from abroad under the Humanitarian Parole Authority of U.S. immigration law. White House officials said the initiative is part of the administration's efforts to discourage unlawful entries along the U.S. southern border. So they want to discourage people from coming in through there, so they're going to fly them in with a plane. Okay. Applicants legally enter the country once they prove they have financial sponsors in the U.S. and pass background checks. The Humanitarian Parole Authority allows the approved applicants to live and work legally in the U.S. temporarily. This program is modeled on the Ukraine program and an earlier Venezuelan program. This really pisses me off because I have a friend that just got his green card. Now, my friend is a millionaire. He's also a doctor, and he's getting married to a U.S. citizen. And he just got his green card. It took him a lot of time to get that. He's still trying to become a citizen, doing everything the correct way. The man makes a great wage, gives back to the United States, and pays a lot of taxes. And he can't become a citizen, yet we give all these other illegals a way to enter the country. That's what upsets me, because I just think about my friend and what he must feel like when he sees stuff like this.
And we're happy to fight back on this. And we've done more to combat Biden's border crisis than I would say just about any other state. And notice, what were they predicting 2 months ago was going to happen because of what was going on in Haiti? They said we were going to be overwhelmed with boats coming in. We surged vessels to protect you against that, and it hasn't happened. When they've tried to come, they've been interdicted and they've been sent back. So we've been very forward leaning on this. But here's the thing.
And guys, I can't blame people for wanting to come to this country. I mean, if I lived in another country, I'd want to do the same thing. But they have to get here legally. We can't have people just coming in, crossing the border, and us not knowing who the hell they are and what their reasoning is for being here. So I love the fact that he's tough on this and he's passing some great laws.
If the president and an administration is behaving in a way that violates the law or Constitution, the appropriate remedy is to have the House of Representatives stop funding the constitutional abuses. And yet, the Republican-controlled House joined with Schumer to write Biden a blank check on all his border policies. And so, look, we worked hard in the midterm. We added 4 new Republicans to the U.S. House delegation. The reality is that is being funded by the Republican House of Representatives. And if you had removed funding from that, then he would not be able to utilize that program. And yes, I think we'll win the lawsuit eventually. Although, let me say this on these lawsuits.
I want to stop here because it's so important that you got to understand Ron DeSantis is a Republican. And who is he ripping on right here? He's ripping on the Republicans. And he's saying, you are not doing a good job. I love that about him because he's calling out his own party, which is so important. Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter. They all do jobs most of the time, let's face it. And they don't pass these common sense laws. And the accountability is what is lacking in people today. People need to be held accountable for their actions. So I love the fact that he's saying, hey, it's our party's fault on this. So great job, Ron, for that.
Say this on these lawsuits. We have a problem with the judiciary. There's a major imbalance. Conservative judges, I mean, these are well-meaning people. They have a conservative judicial philosophy. We'll have a state like Florida will bring a suit because Biden's violating the law. And they'll say, oh, I don't know if you have standing. It's probably illegal, but you don't have standing. We got to dismiss the case.
I love that acting job, Ron. Great job, buddy.
Let me tell you this. Do liberal judges ever dismiss liberal lawsuits because of lack of standing? No. Liberals, they will go and they deliver for the liberal policies. And so, like liberal judges, I mean, we've had so many liberal judges rule against our administration, and then we win on appeal because that's what happens. So this is just something. So if they don't, the only way we won't win the lawsuit is if they say you don't have standing, and I think that would be wrong. But that's kind of the escape hatch that some of these conservative judges are utilizing to be very narrow on who has standing. And my thing is like, look. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. You can't have 2 different standards of Article 3 standing depending on whether you're coming at it from a conservative perspective or a liberal perspective. If liberal groups have standing to do all this stuff, why does a state not have standing to come in and do that? But that's very, very significant. And I think a lot of these conservative judges on the federal courts have let us down over the years with that type of views.
So again, I love this. Now he's going after conservative judges saying, hey, you need to step it up and do a better job. Again, that's his party. My point here, and I think the point you need to make is whoever you vote for, right? Whether it's Democrat, Republican, you need to hold them to standards. And if they make mistakes and they aren't doing their job, you need to get upset about that and let them know. That's the thing I really like about Ron is he can go after his own party even and say, hey, step it up, let's do better. And I'm going to be really interested to see how this lawsuit unfolds because again, where are these illegal migrants landing? Is it in your state or mine? How long is this program going to go on for? And what's the Biden administration's goal behind this program? These are all great questions I think we need answers to, and I'll keep you posted as soon as I find out more. Here's another video you're not going to believe. This man thought he owned a home that was worth $1 million. Turns out it's worth zero. And there's thousands of other homeowners just like him that aren't aware of the problem yet. Check it out. I know you're going to love it, and I'll see you in this video.